Hello, dear audience, and Merry Christmas. 'Tis the Christmas season to be jolly and to have debates with our big brains.
And presents.
This is our Big Brain Time Debate podcast.
That is correct. Hark!
Hark!
Hark! And then Harold Angel sings.
Yeah. Nice Peanuts reference.
You're welcome.
I can't see Charlie Brown stuff without thinking about you. There's an association in my brain now.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
He's got a little trash can. Oh no.
Oh, hi. Is it time for the nukes?
Yes, it is time for the nukes.
I don't know if you guys hear that. There's a nice rumbling noise going on back there. So yeah.
Merry Christmas!
It's a Weird Al Yankovic song.
Oh no, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
All right. I'm Seth.
I'm Ira.
I'm Kyle.
Forgot to introduce ourselves last time.
Oh, that's okay. Everybody knows this by now, kinda.
Yeah, that's the
We
idea.
don't have Jared.
We have no Jared today, or in the last podcast, which we recorded just like 10 minutes ago.
Yes, that's why we talked about. That's why I kind of mentioned nukes. I'm sorry.
And apparently we're stuck on monsters because Kyle brought up the idea for last week's podcast that Big Bird from Sesame Street might be considered a kaiju like Godzilla.
Came out of a weird conversation I had. I'm like, oh, that'd be great. That'd be a great podcast thing. But,
Yeah. And,
apparently he is, but let's move on.
Yeah. But the other Sesame Street monsters aren't because they're not big enough.
Right.
Yeah. And then I came up with the idea that we argue whether a Cyclops can in fact wink or if they just blink.
Interesting question. But that's why we're here.
Important question, truly.
We're putting our big brains to task to figure this out.
You know, when you read Odysseus and you're just like, I wonder if these Cyclops are ever just like chilling and, you know, Poseidon just, or was it Poseidon or Neptune? I don't remember who their dad is.
Poseidon's the god of the sea, and he's essentially their father.
Yeah, so like, you know, when they're in a scrape and then Poseidon helps them out or gives them some free sheep or something, and then they're just like, thanks, Dad. You know, winks at
Wink.
Yeah. But maybe they can't wink a thank you to their father. Maybe they can only blink a thank you to their father.
I think they can just... I'm going to argue that I think they just blink.
I'm going to argue hardcore that they can wink.
You know what? I'm going to go with both. They can wink and blink.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I think they can only wink every day whenever they have to wash over their eyes with eye goo.
Iodine?
With what?
Iodine?
Iodine. No, I meant eye goo.
I
Goo.
Yeah, the sticky goo in your eye. That, like, covers it and keeps it clean.
There's a scientific name for that. Except I don't know what it is.
It's not iodine.
It's not iodine.
I'm pretty
It's not
sure you don't
iodine.
want that in your eye.
Nobody wants that in their eye. It just sounds like eye.
So the eyelid sauce.
Eyelid sauce. Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll go with eyelid sauce. We'll go with
Yeah.
eyelid sauce.
Yeah.
So, they're waking up in the morning, eyelid sauce, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I think that they're just winking 24/7. And my argument for this is that the world's greatest, well, fiction's greatest Cyclops of all time is Mike Wazowski from the Pixar classic Monsters, Inc. And have you seen that man? He never stops winking. Have you seen his interactions with Cecilia? If you've ever seen him with his snake-haired girlfriend.
A Gorgon girlfriend, essentially.
Yeah. Then
She's a Cyclops, too.
you would know this man never stops winking. Like, the sheer swag that Billy Crystal brings to that performance makes me believe that Cyclops is through the power of Mike Wazowski's classiness, will always wink. They're winking 24/7, and I think that's beautiful.
Okay. You actually brought up an interesting point here. Let's go back to the Cyclopses on the island from the Odyssey. They have to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Eyelid sauce and all that fun stuff.
All right.
But like every being, most animals have to blink.
Yeah.
Can we agree that most animals do? Most animals have to blink.
Yeah.
We have to blink.
Do fish blink? I don't think they.
I don't think
no,
fish
they don't.
blink. They don't have eyelids.
Yeah.
And I really,
And I
their
don't-
eyes are
and
kind
there's-
of built for it.
Yeah, they don't even have a way to contract it like with cats or dogs.
Yeah, but most mammals, I'll say most mammals, and humans can blink.
Okay.
And so the Cyclops is kind of described as kind of it's kind of a humanoid, but it's not a human.
Mm-hmm.
But that eye has to blink nonetheless.
Yeah.
So like, what does the blinking do again? I forget. What is blinking supposed to
I
help?
think it's like windshield wipers for your eyes.
Kind of. It helps to keep the eye moist.
Okay.
Basically, like if you left your eyes just not blinking for a long time, eventually you'll start to feel them dry out. So,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes you can hold it for a decent amount of time, but especially if there's like a wind in your eye and that's blowing away all that moisture, then yeah, you pretty much have to blink.
Right. So those Cyclopses, they got a big eye.
Yeah.
They got a big eye. That's like their only way to see. As we saw, as like in the Odyssey, Odysseus punches it out with a stake and he can't see.
Yeah.
So, they got to blink to keep that eye going good. And our man, Mike Wazowski, I think if I remember one scene, he's like putting a contact in his one eye.
Yeah.
So he's got to take care of that eye too.
Yeah.
So what if he's just blinking? What if just his blinking is considered winking and just turning on his girlfriend? I don't know.
I don't like the word "turn on" in relation to
I'll-
any
Like if I could just turn.
I'll say he's winking. He's winking in affection. He's winking in affection. What have we done? What have we done? No.
So, it seems that you are making it sound like blinking and winking are two different things here.
Yes. Winking is usually a gesture that's performed at another person as a non-verbal.
Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that we don't define these as two separate bubbles, but that blinking is a bigger bubble and winking is a bubble that exists within that bigger bubble. Winking is a subset of blinking.
Okay.
And as such, they are inherently blinking, but they are also winking. And moving on from this, I think we might be able to say that winking has to do with intention and communication.
Okay, so here's my problem.
Okay.
How are you supposed to tell if it's winking or blinking? I'll say, only got one eye.
Well,
Middleman, you wanna get in on this?
I mean, a lot when it comes to actually winking at someone, typically it's very circumstantial, and then also there is a lot of facial expressions that usually come in with winking, like maybe a very slight smile, especially. Usually associates you with winking unless you're trying to be extraordinarily subtle. But at the same time, your face, like the way there's still very subtle facial features that I can't specify, but that we can usually tell when somebody is being.
Yeah. You just know it. You just feel it.
So basically you could.
Like Cecilia feels it deep in her gut when Mike winks at her?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you could, a Cyclops winking to another Cyclops would be able to tell that he is in fact winking and not blinking because of the way the Cyclops is, present.
Yeah.
Is doing that motion.
Is basically doing that motion, and obviously if the circumstances that way. Like if
Okay.
you're just asking about how their day is, and they're just saying like, oh, it was fine, and then they blink. Like, would you? You wouldn't really consider that as a wink, no.
Now,
So
the problem is, none of us have ever met a Cyclops.
That's true.
So we're having to infer their personality.
Cyclops babies, but it's a mutation, and I don't think they live very long anyway. So
I've still never met a Cyclops.
So as such, we don't know if they're just constant 24/7 charmers. Like Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski!
I mean, that Cyclops in the cave, unless he's charming all the sheep, I mean, he's, living alone for the most part.
There's no women Cyclops as far as I know.
But you don't just wink at women. Sometimes you're just being really sly.
Yeah, maybe you're being sly and like, hey, we got a plan.
Yeah.
Wink.
Wink.
It's part of the plan. Wink. I'm being subtle. Wink.
Yeah. You just blinked. Oh, then there's a wink.
See, we can perceive winking because we're only using one eye to wink.
Yeah. If they only have the one eye, but if they're, let's just say that a normal Cyclops, like the ones who would be, just herding sheep out on their own, they would not be capable of winking, not because of any physical restraint, but because of the social restraint of not having winking within their cultural dialect.
So basically, they don't even have a conception of winking.
They wouldn't have the conception of winking.
That's an argument for me. They don't even have the conception of winking.
So they wouldn't even be able to tell.
They wouldn't even be able to tell.
Yeah.
Like, if a human winked at them, they probably wouldn't be able to, tell if they're
They'd
being
just
fired.
be like,
Are you mocking me?
Are you mocking me? I'm going to eat you. You 2 eyes. Instead of saying 4 eyes.
2 eyes.
2 eyes!
Well, I thought I was going to be able to argue a lot harder for that, but I really don't have much else to say in terms of the communicative intentions of Cyclops on a normal interaction.
I don't know. It's an interesting theoretical topic to think of. I mean, I really don't know.
I mean, if we wanted to go back to the Mike Wazowski example, I mean, he's around a lot of, monsters that have more than one eye who can more conceptually wink. So at least he has, the ability, perception to distinguish what winking is.
Right.
And therefore, might be able to, do something to make sure everybody knows he's winking. But,
What are some other Cyclopses besides Mike Wazowski and then the ones from the Odyssey that we can think of here? We've only brought 2 to the forefront. There's got to be more.
There's got to be more. We need to know the truth.
Internet, don't fail us now.
Don't fail us now.
Cyclops is in fiction.
Cyclopses. Thank you, Greece, for another wonderful creation.
Fictional Cyclops. Well, we've got the one from X-Men.
Yeah, but he's got 2 eyes.
Yeah, it's just that there happen to be laser rays. Although, actually, no, technically a portal to another dimension that shoots energy, but what have you.
Thanks, Marvel.
Marvel, you are
I needed a good explanation for that one.
It's like, it's a mutation. It's a mutation.
It's a mutation. Oh, no, wait, no, it's just a portal to another dimension. That's just pure energy coming out of his eyes.
It's something that can happen.
It's lasers shooting from his eyes.
Here's a Cyclops on a unicycle.
Oh my good lord, he doesn't even have legs.
Oh, they are. They're just tiny.
Oh. It's got one of those, it's got one of those weirdly, oddly proportional,
Oh, yeah. I
don't know where
massive
this is
bodies
from.
with tiny
It
legs.
doesn't say it's from
It
anything.
looks like it's from what's that show called? Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, that's what it does look like.
Yeah. Okay.
That art style, at least.
I'm just getting either stock photos or pictures from the X-Men. So I think I can soundly. Maybe we could just make this a shorter episode.
Minisode?
Minisode, yeah.
The Christmas minisode?
The Christmas minisode.
It's not directly involved with Christmas because I don't think any of the elves are Cyclops.
I'm gonna look up Christmas Cyclops and really hope something comes up to save
Christmas
me.
Cyclops?
You see, Rudolph would have much worse problems with ostracism if he was a Cyclops.
Rudolph the One-Eyed Reindeer
had a very giant eye.
Rudolph's got it rough, man. I found a Cyclops Santa.
Oh!
that
He
one's
sees you
right.
when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
Gonna haunt me
He
tonight.
knows if you've been bad or good, and he'll wink at you for goodness.
Well, we've done another pair.
I did better.
All right.
Well, you know what?
I guess we'll cap it off.
I think we will.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, dudes.